Yeah. So data center or on-premise environment, both are the same, guys. So what they are providing in the data center is providing the IaaS, guys. So guys, does anyone knows what is IaaS?
Infrastructure as
Very good.
service.
Infrastructure as a service. What is that? So infrastructure as a service. What data center provides? Data center provides infrastructure as a service. So what data center provides, guys? Speak out. What data center provides?
Infrastructure as a service.
Infrastructure as a service. So we are keeping our servers in the data centers, and we are creating as a environment. So for example, environments. So this is the DC, guys. What this is? This is a data center. In the data center, there are the environments. There are environments. So in the environment, so there are non-prod or non-prod or non-production. Both it call it as a same. Non-prod or a production non-prod environment. What these are? A non-prod environment. Now you understood? So this is the non-prod and this is the a prod environment. A prod or a production environment is nothing but a live environment, guys. What is this? A prod or live environment is a live environment. So in the production, guys, in the production, so how many environments are there? So how many environments are there?
Two
So
types
there are
of
the dev environment, QA environment. So this is here only one environment, production environment. Guys, now you understood? Dev, dev environment and QA and prod. This is dev environment. This is prod environment, QA environment. So this is prod environment. So in the dev environment, what are there, guys? In the dev environment, we have two servers. In the dev environment, so we have two servers. In the QA environment, so we have two servers. We have two servers. So what are those servers, guys? What are those servers? App server and DB server. App server and a DB server, guys. What are there? So there is a app server. There is a app server and the DB server. What are there, guys? Every environment we have a app server, DB server, right? Here also app server, DB server, app DB, app DB. App server, DB server. Here also app server. Here also DB server. Is now understood. So these all are the environments. These all are the environments. In the non-production environment, non-prod, non-prod or non-prod or production environment. So non-prod or a production environment. In the non-prod or production environment. So yeah. So what are the environments are there in the non-prod or production environment, guys? So what are the environments are there? Guys, tell me in the non-prod or production environment. So what are the environments are there? Guys are able to hear? Chaitu?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So in non-prod, this is the non-production, right?
Yeah,
So
sir.
how many environments are there in the non-production? So what is this environment?
DevOps environment and QA environment.
Dev environment and QA
QA.
environment and production environment. So what are the? So this is the prod. So prod environment. So now in the non-prod environment, dev, QA. In the production environment, live or a prod environment. In the non-production, what are the environment? How many environments are there? So we have a dev env. So what is dev env, guys? So what is a dev env and what is QA env? What is QA env and what is pre-prod? Pre-prod, pre-prod, staging, UAT, UAT environment, integration. So integration environment. So these all are the environments, guys. These all are the in the non-production environment. So what are the environments are there, guys? So what are the how many environments are there in the non-production? Guys, tell me.
Two types of product environments are there.
Uh, so 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 here two types of environment. In our company, we are using the Dev 1 QA. Some people are using staging and integration. Some people are using Dev 1 QA. Some people are using pre-prod and dev environment. Based on the company, so they are creating their own environments. They are creating their own environments. So QA environments, a pre-prod environments, a staging environment. This is a UAT. So this is a integration. So what it means? What is dev environment? So what developers are doing? Guys, tell me what developers are doing?
Building a code.
Building the code. So Lavanya and Venkat, you can also speak out, guys. What developers are doing?
Developing the code.
Developing the code. So developers are developing the code. So these are the developers. Who are these? These are the developers. Developers developing this code, and so they want to test it on the before giving to the QA environment, right? So before giving to the testing team, so developer first we need to test it in their own environment. So that is nothing but a development environment. So development environment, how many servers are there? We have two servers in the development environment. So we have two servers. So what are those? App server and DB server. So they test the code, whatever the code, right? They have written. They test the code in the first. They test code in the. They test code in the development environment. So development environment is nothing but the servers which are the servers used for deploying their code or their code into their code for testing, for their code for validating if the code is working fine or not. That environment is nothing but a dev environment, guys. So that environment is nothing but a dev environment. Guys, understood? App server and the DB server. So this is nothing but a development environment. Yeah. So whatever the developer develop that code, right? The developed code, we need to test it if it is working or not. So where we can, where they can test it, they can test it in the development environment. Same like as a QA environment. So what is QA environment, guys? So QA means quality analysis, means testers. Testers also working for the test. What the role of the testing team? What the role of the testing team? To test their application. To test the application, right? To test the application, for example WhatsApp or whatever it may be, if it is working fine or not. Yeah. So if you want to test the application, so definitely we need to deploy somewhere and we need to test it. So we need to deploy it somewhere and we need to test it, right? So we need to test it. So this is the QA environment. What QA environment contains? QA environment contains the same app and DB server. Whatever the applications deployed on this code, right? The same code will be deployed on the QA environment also. So QA team also verify the application. QA team also verify the application. Yeah, so they will verify the application once they tested in the QA environment. So they verify the application, QA application, in the QA environment application. If it is working fine, it is working fine. So some companies are using the pre-prod environment. Pre-prod is nothing but a prod-like setup. Whatever the prod-like setup is there, and they build a pre-prod setup in the non-production environment, and they test it in the pre-prod. If pre-prod is working fine, it will be working in the production environment. Some people are using the pre-prod environment. Some people are using the staging. Some people are using the UAT, user acceptance test. Some people are using the integration. So everything. So everything. Every environment. So every environment contains the two servers. Those are the app server and DB server for our application. So those are app server and DB server for our application. Yeah, so it is done. So in the non-production environment, it is working fine. Our application is working fine in the non-production environment. So then they will move it to the production environment. Once the non-production environment looks good, then they will move the code to the production environment. So in the non-production environment, who are using? The company people. Company company are using the non-production environment. So non-production environment is something like a no business impact. So no business impact. No no business impact. No revenue generation. So no business impact and no revenue generation. If something goes on the if the non-production environment is goes down, so how many people are impacting? Only these two people are impacting. So if is there any business impact? Is there any business impact, guys? No business impact. There is no business impact. So because of, so only affecting the two developers, only affecting the two developers in the company. But in the non-production environment, the non-production production environment, we have two servers. One is app server and one is DB server. Our application is deployed on the our application code is deployed on the production servers. Then again QA team, then again QA team test the application. Test the application. Once they deploy, once they deploy, they test the application. So this is the production end user using the app. End user using the app, right? So before after deployment, so this is nothing but a deployment. Deployment or a release. Deployment or a release, guys. Once we deployed, if it is fine in the dev environment, QA environment, then they are sign off to the production environment. Yes, they deployed the same code in the production environment. Same code in the production environment. So this is app server and this is a DB server. So this is DB server. They deployed the code, they deployed in the new code in the production server. This is the prod server production environment. So this is the production environment. Yeah, once deployed the code, again QA team will test the end user application also. End user application means a live application. Live application. So end user application means live application. These are the testing team. Testing team will test the QA environment again the production environment also. The production environment also. Guys, now you understood. So in the environments, so what are the environments all there, and what are the peoples are working on the which environment? Guys, understood?
Yeah, bro.
Yes. Venkat,
Yes, yes, sir. We understand.
Lavanya, do you understand? Shafi, Lavanya, Rafi, Lavanya.
Sir, just now I joined, sir. Can you explain again?
Oh no. Okay. Yeah.
Or
So
you provide the recorded
yeah,
link?
I will. Yeah. So I will upload the recording and I will give the access to you guys. You guys, what you can do, you guys can share your email IDs in that group. Ashok already created that group, right? You can share that group.
I didn't receive any, sir, link. Can you please add me in that group?
Yeah. I will share you in the group. So you are not there in the AWS DevOps group, right?
No, I'm not there.
You are not there, huh? Yeah.
No.
So ping me your WhatsApp number.
Okay, I'm pinning in chat box.
Yeah, you
One
can
sec.
ping me in the chat box.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Okay.
Sorry, I'm also not part of in the that group.
Who is
Venkat,
Venkat?
Venkat.
Venkat, I will add it today.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sandeep Reddy. Who is Sandeep
Sandeep
Reddy?
Reddy, is my friend actually. I'm referred to him to this.
Okay. Venkat, you referred Sandeep Reddy, right?
Yes.
Okay. So today I will create a group and I will add it, and I will access the recordings to today.
Okay.
I will give the
Okay.
recording access today. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will show you that also. 1 second. Yeah, guys, I created a one iMake IT March, guys. So I uploaded the recordings here. I will upload the recordings and I will give the access to you guys. I will share the, please provide your email IDs. I will share the access to you guys. Okay, and you guys can watch the recordings. Okay. Yep, guys. So now you guys cleared about the environments. So now you guys cleared about the environments and the data center. So data center. So what they are providing in the data center, guys? Data center provides a infrastructure as a service, guys. Guys, please remember this one. Okay. So what they are providing, data centers are providing the infrastructure as a service. What they are providing now, you see, right? These are the environments. In the environments, what are there? The servers are there, right? Physical servers. What are the servers? Dell PowerEdge R710 server. Dell. These are the environments, guys. These are the environments. I will post you later. Yeah, now you understood, right? Yep. For example, this is the server, right? So this is the server. For example, so this is the environment, right? So for example, this is the development environment. So what are there in the development environment? So we have a two servers, two servers. So we use two servers. We use two servers for this deployment. So for example, this is the dev environment. So what it contains? This is the dev environment. Dev environment. So this dev environment, we keep it in the, where we keep it, guys? So we keep it in the data center. We keep it in the data center DC. So we keep it in the data center. What this is, guys? This is a infrastructure, right? What data centers are providing? Data centers are providing the infrastructure as a service. Infra as a service. Infrastructure as a service, or infra as a service. Guys, now you understood? So why data center? Guys, what is data center? Why data center?
It will provide a continuous internet and power.
So they provide the rental space for to keep our servers. What they are providing? They are providing the rental space to rental space for to keep our servers. So what are these? These covers. So which environments? Dev environments, QA environment, production, non-production, live, everything in all the environments will be, all the environments will be keep it in the data center. So that is nothing but a IaaS. That is nothing but a IaaS, infrastructure as a service. What they are providing? They are providing only the infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service. The data center, other name call it as a on-premise environment. What it, guys? On-premise environment. So on-premise environment or data center, both are the same, guys. On-premise environment. Guys, now you understood. So what is data center? What are the environments? So in which environment who are working, and so what is the production environment, live environment? This is the live environment. So whatever we are seeing the application in the internet, right? The Facebook, WhatsApp, Google, whatever the things. So that application is deployed on the production server. So that then only we can see it in the browsers. Then only we can see it in the browsers. Guys, now you understood data centers and environments. So data centers and environments. Guys, now you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah, bro.
speak out, guys. Yeah. So this is the DC. So this is the DC. Mm, yeah. So what this is, guys? So this is a DC data center. So data center. This is the a DC. One second, guys. You guys are confused about this. Yeah. So this is the DC data center environment. So this is the a data center environment. So in the data center environment, in the data center environment, this is the yeah. So this is the development environment, guys. So what is this? This is the dev environment. Who are using? Developers are using. Yeah. So developers are using. So here first we need to interact with the OS, guys. This is a hardware. So how you are interacting with this hardware, guys? How you are interacting with this hardware? So how we can interact with this hardware, guys? What is OS, guys? What is a OS? Chaitu, Sir Rafi. Guys, what is
Sir,
OS?
it is a mediator between the user and the computer.
User and the computer. For
Yeah.
example, if you want to interact with the development team, right? So development team wants to interact with the hardware. So these are the development team. So development team wants to interact with the hardware. How they are interacting with the hardware? So directly. So we cannot interact with the hardware directly, but we need a
We need a voice
yes, very good.
between them to
Uh,
interact,
so if you want,
which the hardware can understand.
yeah, guys. So which OS we installed on this mission? Chaitu, you know, right?
Mac OS.
No.
Windows,
Uh,
sir.
de- uh,
We are learning in this course which OS?
CentOS.
Venkat.
Linux,
Yes,
Windows.
yes,
Linux
yes,
CentOS 7.
yes,
CentOS.
yes. Very good. CentOS 7 is installed on this mission. Both the missions. So we are installed CentOS 7. So CentOS 7 is installed on this mission. So this guy is a DB developer. Who is
CentOS.
this? A DB developer. These two people are the app developers. App developers. So this guy is the DB developer. This guy is the DB developer, and the DBA team also is there. What is there? Who is there? DBA team. So DBA means database administrator. DBA means DBA
Database administrator.
team. DBA team means so database
Administrator.
administrator. So DBA means database administrators also there. So database administrator team also there. Here also, so CentOS. CentOS OS is installed on this mission because of if you want to interact with this hardware, definitely we need a CentOS 7. Definitely we need a CentOS 7. Yes, so we will install the CentOS 7. After that, guys, after that, so the developers are developing the code, right? So this is the code. For example, this is the code. Developers develop that code. So where we can keep our code in the so this is a, for example, this is the app server, guys. So this is the app server, this is the DB server. So this is the DB server, app server, DB server, guys. So app server, so our code, whatever the developer developed that code, right? And DB developers also developed the code and keep it in the server. So if you want to keep it in the, if you want to keep our servers, if you want to keep our code, so for example, facebook.com. So this is the browser, guys. So this browser we are seeing, so this is the Facebook, this is the a Facebook application. Who are these guys? These are the end users. These are the end users means ours. So these are the end users. So we are trying to access this Facebook website by using browser, right? In the browser, web browsers like Chrome, Google Chrome, Firefox, or whatever may be, Safari, whatever it may be. So where you are seeing our website, we are seeing our website in the web browser. So we are seeing our website in the web browser, guys. So who are accessing? The end users will access this site. So this is the a live site. End users access the facebook.com. So where we need to deploy this code, guys? Where we need to deploy this code? So we need to deploy this code on the server. So if you want to see the application, if you want to see the application in the browser, here we need to install the a web server, guys. We need to install the a web server. So what are the web server we installed? We installed the,
Tomcat.
yes, very good. Who is?
Tomcat.
Yes. So Tomcat. So Tomcat web server is installed, guys. So Tomcat web server is installed, and you deployed the code. You deployed the code in the, so what is this code, guys? For example, Facebook. So for example, Facebook dot aware or jar, guys. So Tomcat knows. So Tomcat knows the which format of so only knows the dot var or dot jar format. So dot jar a format, but the code developer develop that code. These are the, for example, Java developers. Who are these guys? Java developers. They are developing the code in the Java. So Java. So Facebook dot Java. The code is in the Facebook.java, but Tomcat knows only .var or .jar. Tomcat knows only .var or .jar. So who will convert this? So in the middle, So there is a Maven build tool is there. There is a Maven build tool. Maven build tool. So it will convert the .java to Maven will convert the .java to .var. Maven converts the .var to .jar. So yeah. So we deployed a and so what is the so in which language you you developed the code? Java language, right? Yeah, definitely you need to install the Java software also. Java software also. Yeah. So if you want to deploy a application, if you want to deploy a code in our server, so what we need, guys? So what we need? So we need to install the CentOS 7, then we need to install the Tomcat, then we need to install the Java, and we can deploy our code. So we can deploy our code. If you, the end user, hit the www.facebook.com, www.facebook.com, it suggests the where the Facebook where the Facebook code is deployed. Here the Facebook code is deployed. Here the Facebook code is deployed. So once we search the www.facebook.com, it opens the index page through the HTTPS or HTTP. HTTPS or HTTP. What is HTTPS or HTTP? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext transfer hypertext transfer protocol. So hypertext transfer protocol, HTTP means yes means secure. Yes means a secure. Hypertext transfer protocol secure or a, so if you don't, if you are not adding the yes, it will not secure your website. It will not secure your website. The port number for HTTP is 443 and the HTTP is 80. These are the port numbers. So what are the protocols? Protocols are the HTTP and HTTPD, and port numbers are the 440 and 80. Guys, now you understood where you deployed this, where you keep this, you keep this in the data center or a on-premise environment. On-premise environment, data center or the on-premise environment. On-premise. So on a premise. So this is the, for example, so this is the production environment. So this is the production environment. First we need to test it in the dev environment, then QA environment. This is the dev. For example, guys, this is a QA environment. So once developer test it in the development environment, then move it to the QA environment, then finally move it to the production environment. In the production environment, so who will use this production environment? The end users. So who will use this? The end users use this production environment. So production environment. So for example, so this server is in shutdown state. This server is in shutdown state. If the application is working or not, guys. So the application will not work. So contains a site cannot be reached. What it's showing? Site cannot be reached. So if the survey, if the website is not reached, the end user are impacted or not, guys? Impacted or not? So end users are impacted or not, guys? Impacted. So
Yeah.
that time in the Facebook, so what is the motto of the Facebook or something like? It is a social website, and it is running over the advertisement. So advertisements. So advertisements. So if you are playing the advertisement, definitely we will get the revenue. So we'll get the revenue, right? So if you are running the advertisements, we'll get the revenue. We'll get the revenue. So if site cannot be reached, If site cannot be reached. So that time advertisements are playing. No, the advertisements are not playing at that time. So if the advertisements are not playing at that time, the revenue generation, so the revenue is not generated. If it is impacted, definitely there will be impact on the revenue. There will be a impact on the revenue. So yeah, guys. So here we need to learn business hours and non-business hours, guys. Business hours and non-business hours. Non-business hours. So what are the business hours and what are the non-business hours, guys? Tell me. What are the business hours for our India? So when the shops are opening and closing?
Maybe 10 to 5 or 6.
Yeah. 10 a.m. to, for example, 10 p.m. Right? So this is the, so 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. is the business hours, right? So after 10 p.m., so they are sleeping, right? After 10 p.m. people are sleeping. So that is nothing but a non-business hours. So that is nothing but a non-business hours. So non-business hours means, so whenever the application is not using, most of the times whenever the application is not using, so that is nothing but a non-business hours. So business hours means the peak time who are the business are getting at the time of, at the time. So the website where the Facebook is watching, Facebook is using the people 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. or else something like after 10 p.m. they're not using the, most of the people are not using the application, right? So at that time they are doing the deployments or a releases. They are doing the deployments or a releases. Releases. So what are the deployments or the what are the releases? So for example, so initially Facebook only for the messaging purpose. So we are unable to upload the videos. We are unable to upload the images. Yeah, the new feature called as a, in the first Facebook 1.0 jar or where contains only messaging purpose, only messaging purpose. So Facebook 2.0 is you can upload the images. You can upload the images. So if you want to deploy a new feature in your production server, definitely first we need to test it in the development server, then we can test it in the QS environment. Finally we will deploy it on the production environment. So here we have a Facebook 1.1 jar is where is there. I want to deploy it to 2 dot jar. In the 2 dot jar, in the 2 dot jar, what is the code available? A new feature is available. If the new feature wants to use the end user, definitely we need to deploy it here. So so when we will deploy the, when we will deploy or when we will release the new feature, so in the non-business hours. So when we will release the new feature, guys, in the non-business hours. Non-business hours means after 10 p.m. So we will deploy. After 10 p.m. we will deploy because of that time. So there is no much impact on the business. Most of the people are seeing. So guys, so when we will deploy the applications, so when we will deploy the features, so we will deploy the features at non-business hours. So we need to remove this and we can add this Facebook dot 2 dot 0 dot a jar or where. For example, where, guys, a new code is deployed in the application. Now we can see it. We can upload the images and the end user. We can upload the images on the end user. Guys, understood now? What are the deployments and what are the releases? When we will do the deployments? What are the environments? So what is DC? What DC provides IaaS as an infrastructure? Guys, now you understood?
Yeah,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Yeah, this is the real time, guys. So this is the real-time environment. Now, so what we can do is, yeah, so this is the physical server. So this is the physical server. First we need to deploy, we need to install the CentOS on the server. So where we deploying? Right? For example, so this is the server, guys. So this is the server. Yeah, this is the server. So we need to install the OS. So which OS we need to install, guys? CentOS
7.
7. So if you want to install the CentOS 7, so if you want to install the CentOS 7, so the resources. What are the resources having? RAM, something like 128 GB, CPU, 20 core CPU, 20 core CPU, and HDD, hard disk storage. So 2 TB storage. 2 TB storage. So this resources is used for the production, right? Because of Facebook, how many people are interacting? Facebook is interacting number of people. That's the reason we need to. The cost of the server, Dell Power Edge R710. The cost of the server is 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs plus. If you want to keep the server in the data center, they are charging 5 lakhs per year. So how much, guys? 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs per year. So for this production environment, so we are getting the revenue. So we are getting the revenue. So if you want to install, if you want to install the deployment, if you want to configure the deployment environment, so this we need for the development environment. So here from something like 1 lakh people are using 1 lakh people are using this website. So website means if you are hitting HTTP, definitely there will be a hit on this. There will be a hit on this, right? So 1 lakh people, it will be sustained for the 1 lakh people. So 128 GB RAM, 2 core CPU, and 2 TB the storage. But for the non-production, so we don't need this much amount of the. We don't need this much amount of the server, right, guys? Amount of the server. So for a development server, how many people are working? For example, only 2 people are working for the development server. So how many people are working? Only 2 people are working for the development server. Development server. So this much resource we needed for to develop the application. Only accessing the 2 people. Only accessing the 2 people. So we don't need this much big of servers. Just we need a small amount of resources, something like a 4 GB RAM, 1 core or 2 core CPU, 20 GB hard disk is enough. 20 GB hard disk is enough. So yeah. So how we can get these small servers? So there is no possibility. Then a big innovative thought comes into the picture. A big innovative thought comes into the picture. Innovative thought. So innovative thought comes into the picture. They call it as a virtualization. Virtualization. So virtualizations. So virtualization means so we can install the. So first we can install the virtualization software. So what we can install? So we can install the VM software, and they treat it as a freely resources will be available freely. The resources will be available freely, and we can create the a number of OSs based on the resources. So we can create the number of resources based on the resources. Based on the resources, we can create a virtualization. What is this, guys? A virtualization. So in the virtualization, they are providing the softwares called OVM, Oracle Virtual Machine, and VMware company provides the softwares for the virtualization, guys. So here, for example, we install the OVM, Oracle Virtual Machine. Oracle Virtual Machine. So we install the Oracle Virtual Machine in this here. They used the resources of something like a 4 GB RAM or 2 GB RAM, 1 CPU, 20 GB hard disk. Then it will be releasing as a free. So here you can create the number of VMs. So VM is nothing but a virtual machine. So what are the virtual machines? The virtual machine may be a CentOS. The virtual machine may be a Red Hat. So for example, Red Hat OS. So here, for example, CentOS 7 OS. So for example, here we installed the Windows OS. We installed the Windows OS. For our example, we installed here a Mac OS. Mac OS. Now you understood? So you can utilize the resources. So for Red Hat OS, they use RAM equal to 4 GB, RAM equal to 4 GB, 2 CPU, and 20 GB hard disk. 20 GB hard disk. The same way, CentOS also we can use it based on the resources. So we can use it and we can install the servers. A big innovative thoughts comes into the picture, and that reduces the cost from 10 lakhs to 1 lakh. 90% of cost reduces here. So because for these resources we created 10 VMs. Each VM having 1 lakh. 1 lakh into 1 lakh into 10 OSs, 10 servers, 10 VMs virtual machines equal to 10 lakhs. So in one server, in one server, guys, this is 10 VMs. 10 VMs. So 1 lakh into 10 VMs. We can create a one server in the 10 virtual OSs. One virtual machines or a virtual OSs. So virtual OSs. So the impact, the innovative thought comes into the picture, and 90% of the cost from reduces from physical to virtualization. Physical to virtualization. Yes. So we can install the virtualization software, and it released as a resources. Then you can create the VMs based on the resources. We can create the number of VMs based on the resources. Guys, now you understood the cost reduces from a production to development 90%. So innovative thought. What is the innovative thought? Virtualization concept, guys. So virtualization concept. So for example, in your laptop is a this is your laptop. So you have already installed the Windows, right? So you can install the, so what you can install? You can install the OVM software on your laptop. OVM software on your laptop. OVM software on your laptop. So this resource is using 4 GB RAM, 2 core CPU, 50 GB hard disk. So this is Windows is installed. So in the Windows, what you can do, you can install the OVM Oracle Virtual Machine software, and you can install the number of OSs number of OSs based on our resource. For example, here we installing the VM. VM call it as a CentOS. So here we installing the VM, call it as a Red Hat. So here we call it as a VM, that is called as a Windows. So here, so we call it as a VM. So we install the Oracle Linux, or we install the Ubuntu Linux. Guys, now you understood? So the utilization of the server, we can, based on the resources, you can divide it into multiple parts. You can divide it into multiple parts and install the separate OS on that virtual machine, guys. So we will show you how to install the Oracle OVM on your desktop, and how first we need to download the OVM software and download the CentOS 7 ISO image for installing the Linux on your machine, on your virtual machine. For installing, so CentOS 7 OS on your laptop. So laptop is nothing but a DC, guys. For example, you assuming, so laptop is a data center. Your laptop is the data center. Tomorrow I will show you how to download these two and how to install these two, guys. How to install these two. So we will show it on the tomorrow, guys. Okay, we'll continue from tomorrow, guys. Guys, understood?
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah,
Any
bro.
doubts?
Harish, one doubt I have. Can I ask?
Trust.
This OVMs, we install a separate OSs, right?
Yeah,
Like
so
it is a virtual desktop, like it
uh,
acts.
it act as a virtual, it is a OS, it is a OS only, but that is a bare metal OS. Tomorrow I will tell you.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
okay, okay,
Okay, briefly I will
okay,
tell you tomorrow.
sure.
Now you understood, right, guys? Just your Windows laptop, your laptop is you assuming your laptop is your DC, because of, so we are installing CentOS on our laptops. That's the reason. So you are assuming your laptop is the DC, guys, data center. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, we'll
Harish,
continue from.
okay, Harish, can you provide the access as soon as possible? Why? Because yesterday class also I have missed. I will
Yeah,
go
yeah,
through
you
that
can
one.
speak with Ashok, guys. So if you want access to the videos, you guys can speak with the Ashok and Venkat, Lavanya, and the Sandeep. I will talk to you guys. You can speak out to that guy Shiva.
Okay.
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 Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, bro.